G'day guys, how's it going? I'm Aaron Whitnell. This is ACW Sport and the Champions League returns this week for match day 3, and here are my predictions for how I think each of the games are going to go down, starting with what for me is the biggest game of week 3, Real Madrid hosting Tottenham. Now Real Madrid haven't made the best starts to the season. Tottenham look phenomenal away from home, and Tottenham have been brilliant so far in their group. So for me, this is the meeting of the two teams that are going to qualify from this group. I think Tottenham are going to beat Dortmund for that second spot. And going into this game, they're in fantastic form, especially away in the Premier League, like I've said. They also finally picked up a Premier League win at Wembley by beating Bournemouth at the weekend. Real Madrid returned to winning ways by beating Getafe away from home 2-1, thanks to a winner from Ronaldo with only 5 minutes to go. But I think they're just going to have too much for Spurs. I think this will be a high-scoring game. I am predicting Harry Kane to get on the score sheet, him and Dele Alli and Eriksen to really cause some problems for that Madrid defence. But overall, you just can't deny the quality that Madrid have with the likes of Bale, Benzema, of course Ronaldo. And that is why I'm going to go for Real Madrid 3, Tottenham Hotspur 2 in this game. I just think home advantage for Real Madrid is what will give them the win. And as for the return leg, well, we'll see what I think in a couple of weeks. Now, the other game in that group is Apoel hosting Borussia Dortmund. Dortmund doing very, very well so far this season, although not necessarily in the Champions League. But I think they're going to pick up a fairly easy win in this game. I'm going to go for Apoel 0, Dortmund 3 in that game there. Moving on to another game that I think is a pretty big game, Manchester City versus Napoli. Now, we know how unbelievably good Man City have been so far this season, not just in the Premier League, but also in the Champions League too. But you can't deny Napoli. Yeah, they had a blip on day 1, but they have looked solid ever since. They have won every single game in Serie A, but I think City are just going to have too much for them. I'm going for another 3-2 scoreline, this time to Manchester City over Napoli at the Etihad. I just think with the form Kevin De Bruyne is in, I mean, City in general win, but De Bruyne in particular, we know how he's really upped his game in the past couple of weeks. He looks unplayable at the moment, and I think he will be the key to City picking up what will be a very big win in this Champions League fixture. The other game in that group sees Shakhtar travelling to Feyenoord. Shakhtar have looked very, very good. They were a bit unlucky against City. They did, pose them some threats, and I think they're just going to have too much class for Feyenoord, so I'm going Feyenoord 1, Shakhtar 2 in that game. Chelsea have been under one hell of a blip since they beat Atletico in match day 2. Losing to Man City and then to Palace at the weekend. Shocking. But, Roma, they're having a fairly decent season, although they lost at the weekend to Napoli. They'll be very disappointed about that. Both teams will want to bounce back, but I think it's home advantage that's going to help Chelsea here. I'm going Chelsea 2, Roma 1. I just think Chelsea get back to winning ways in this one. I know he's been under a bit of pressure. I reckon Michy Batshuayi could end up scoring again here. I'm going to back him, even though he didn't put in the best performance against Palace at the weekend. I'm not necessarily saying he's starting, but I think he might come on as a late sub and score. So we'll wait and see if he can repeat his heroics from the Atletico game. In the other game, Atletico, they travel to Karabag. I'm going for an easy 3-0 win to Atletico in that game, just because I don't think Karabag have got anywhere near the class to stand up to Atletico. So yeah, should be an easy win in that one for them. Manchester United, after the snore draw that was them drawing at Anfield at the weekend against Liverpool, they travel to Benfica. They've looked very solid all throughout the season, been very, very comfortable in this group, which they should do, because for me they are the best team by a mile in this group. Benfica, surprisingly though, have been shocking. They were humbled by Basel in the last game, losing 5-0. And I don't see things getting any better for them here. I don't think it'll necessarily be the highest scoring game. I don't think United will probably put in the best performance. But I'm going to go Benfica 0, Manchester United 2. I'm going to back Romelu Lukaku to get back on the score sheet after not scoring at the weekend. And I'm going to go Anthony Martial to get on the score sheet as well. So 2-0 to Manchester United over Benfica for me in that game. The other game in that group sees Basel travel to CSKA. They look so good against Benfica. Did Basel, that I'm going to back them for a 2-1 away win over CSKA, because even though CSKA can put up a bit of a fight, they were pulled apart by Manchester United in the last game, and I just think Basel are a better team. So yeah, that's why I'm going for a 2-1 away win for Basel in that game. The final English team in the Champions League, Liverpool, they travel to Maribor, and after the criticism that Klopp has come under in recent weeks, they haven't won in 8 games. I think this is the perfect game for them. And I'm going to back Liverpool to get a 3-0 away win in this game. I'm going Salah, Coutinho and Firmino to get on the score sheet in this game. And then as for the other group game in this group, Spartak Moscow, they host Sevilla. I'm going for a 2-1 away win for Sevilla in that one as well, just because I think simply Sevilla are the better side and they'll have too much quality, even though Spartak will put up a good fight. And then the final British team in the Champions League, Celtic, they travel to Bayern Munich, who, based on their performance at the weekend, have been rejuvenated by the fact that Ancelotti's gone. And obviously they've brought in a legend at the club in that sense to manage them for the rest of the season. So I'm going to go Bayern Munich 3, Celtic 0. And yeah, I think, you look at Celtic's, the quality difference between Celtic and Bayern is big. And that's why I think it'll be an easy scoreline for them. I'm backing Müller and Lewandowski to get on the score sheet for Bayern in that game. The other group game in that group sees Anderlecht hosting PSG. Anderlecht look all over the place at the moment in the Champions League. PSG look on fire, so I'm going to back a 4-0 away win for PSG in that game. Neymar, Cavani and Mbappe all to get on the score sheet for me. And then the final two groups, we see Barcelona hosting Olympiacos. This should be a very easy win for Barcelona in my opinion. I'm backing them to win 4-0. I'm going to get Messi to get a brace here and Suarez to get on the score sheet as well. As for the last one, we'll see. And then, in the other game, Sporting host Juventus. I'm backing Juventus to get a 2-0 away win here. Dybala and Higuain to get on the score sheet for me. And then finally, Leipzig host Porto. Leipzig have been surprisingly poor so far in this group stage, but then so have Porto as well to some degree. But I'm actually going to back, even though Porto obviously picked up a big win at Monaco in the last game, still they didn't look great in the previous game. I am going to back Leipzig to finally pick up a win. I'm going to go Leipzig 2, Porto 1. And then Besiktas, who have been the real surprise package in this group so far, they travel to Monaco. I'm going to go Monaco 2, Besiktas 2. I'm going to back Besiktas to get a very big result here, which will take them just that little step closer to qualifying. And a surprise qualification from that group as well. So, those are my score predictions for Week 3 of the 2017-2018 Champions League season. Do you agree with what I have to say? Please comment below, let me know. Let me know what you think the scores are going to be. And I'll be back later in this week with my Week 3 Champions League review. And of course, back tomorrow with my Premier League review from the weekend just gone. I am, of course, waiting for the Leicester-West Brom game tonight before I do that. So, yeah, I will see you guys again tomorrow. And, yeah, let's hopefully have a week full of goals.